I would say focus just as much on your like mental performance as your physical performance. Getting touches on the ball in a high level environment is the best way that you can improve.
This is Ben Kelly. We sat down with him to learn about his college recruiting process.
It's like for me, like going to training and going to training is so much fun.
Yeah.
Like I look forward to it every time.
And why he chose Harvard to be his next home. Real quick, before we hop into the video, I want to show you guys how to set up an account on BenzBoots. So you can type in BenzBoots.com into your web browser, as you see he's doing right now. Then you press sign up. You can sign up with Google, which makes it super easy. Press on your account. Press sign in with Google. And then you're in, and then you're ready to start selling and making some money off those cleats you always wanted to. Yeah, I'm at Harvard with Ben Kelly, dude. This is fire, dude. I actually love this setup. I love it.
Dude, I love it too. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties with setting up the microphones, but
Yeah. So,
but other than that, it's a good setup.
Dude, it's sick. And so you live here, right? You live right there.
I do live here. It's a complicated setup. So basically, this is a dorm. We're in one of the 13 dorms at Harvard.
Okay.
And my parents are one of the people in charge of one of the dorms. Yeah. So I live in a little house connected to this dorm.
Nice.
So,
because when you opened the door and we saw like the
diamond,
I was like,
that's kind of crazy. That's like my little party trick to whoever comes.
Yeah.
Whenever people come to my house when you want to see something crazy. I just open the door.
I was like, what? And so this is like a common room?
Yeah, this is like a common room. I guess people like throw parties in here. They'll have meetings in here, do schoolwork in here. Yeah. But it's kind of ridiculous setup for just like a common room.
It is. And so we'll kind of jump right into it now. And so can you just talk about like kind of where you played before? Like just talk about yourself kind of.
Yeah, so I've lived in Boston for a pretty long time now. I've lived here at Harvard since the 8th grade. Okay. Before that, I lived in Arlington. Shout out to all the Arlington ballers because Arlington breeds ballers. I'm not gonna lie. So I played at NEFC until probably like U13, I believe, and then I switched to the Bolts. Originally switched to the ECNL team because I played for my school, Roxbury Latin, and at that time they weren't doing those waivers where you can play for both.
Right. Yeah.
So so I was playing for the ECNL team, and I was doing okay. But then my last year of ECNL, I did really well. Got selected for like the ECNL national program or whatever, and then COVID hit. So we actually couldn't do anything past the ECNL like national thing because it got all shut down. So let's see. After that, there wasn't a Roxbury Latin season anymore. So.
And that was, what year was that? Is that your sophomore, junior year?
That would have been my junior year.
Okay.
So yeah, my junior year there was no, which is like a huge recruiting year.
No, yeah, for sure.
For like soccer players.
Yeah.
And so there was no high school soccer. So they saw that I didn't have that conflict anymore with school. So they moved me up to the academy team. And
that was that DA right then, or was that?
No, that was MLS Next.
It was
MLS Next.
Okay,
yeah. I think it was the first year of MLS Next.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So and then so I played MLS Next for Bolts ever since. So
that's fire. Yeah. And so you're going to Harvard next year.
Yeah, going to Harvard next year. This year in 2 weeks I'll be in preseason.
Okay. Are you nervous?
I'm nervous about my fitness just because I just got injured.
Yeah.
And I felt pretty fit before.
Yeah.
And then now we'll see, because I'm supposed to like recover just in time for preseason.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll see how my fitness is like.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So, what have you been doing for training? Like individually, like what have you been doing?
Well, fitness wise. So it's funny because I just got injured, but I just came back from an injury 3 weeks ago.
And what was
that was a high ankle sprain, and I was out for about 8 weeks.
Jeez.
So this summer has basically been me rehabbing my ankle.
Yeah.
And but I was able to stay fit on the bike.
Okay, yeah.
Which is pretty good. And when
like a Peloton or something?
Yeah. There's I would just go to the gym, and they would have a Peloton. You can adjust the fitness.
So dude, because I don't know if you know, but I broke my leg too, and so I've been injured, and it's so hard mentally, one, and two, just like physically getting back to that. What have you done to like trying to make sure that your ankle feels good and you just feel?
I go to physical therapy twice a week.
Right. And what do you do there? Just like
so they got me doing exercises. They do soft tissue work.
Yeah.
And basically I just take those exercises and I do them at home as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, a lot of them are in the weight room, so go to the gym.
Yeah.
Get those exercises done, and honestly, like my ankle feels like more stable than it was like before the injury, just because I've been putting so much work into it. Like I would just do it with both. I would do the exercises that they told me to do with my right foot, with my left foot too, just because I was like, this is helping me so much. Yeah. And I think honestly, it was like improving like my tibular strength and my calf strength.
Yeah.
I actually think like the difference between before the injury and after the injury, I was like a more athletic, like faster player. Wow. Which is like kind of ridiculous to say.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But yeah, it helped a lot.
That's fire.
Shout out Champion Fitness.
Not
Champion Physical Therapy. Yeah.
Is it? Is that the physical therapy?
Yeah.
That's fire. And so okay, so you were but you lived in France, right? You said.
I did when I was very, very young.
Okay,
so like
but you can speak French.
Yeah, I can speak French. I grew up learning French and English at the same time. And then when I moved to the United States, I went to a bilingual school.
Okay.
So in that, it's basically like 80% French, 20% English. Mm-hmm. So I would do that. I would speak French at school with a little bit of English, and I would speak English at home with my parents. Kind of learn French and English at the same time.
And so I asked Kaan this, but can you speak a little bit French? Say like.
Ouais, je peux parler français un peu. Alors, mon accent c'est bien, mais mon vocabulaire c'est un peu pas trop bien parce que parce que je ne parlais pas beaucoup après j'ai départé l'école bilingue. Alors it's a little rusty right now.
No, bro, it's good because I take French at school.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood like a little bit. No, not much. Not much though. But okay, so just soccer wise, you play the 8, would you say? Or?
Yeah, so I feel like this is one of my strengths, is that I can kind of play anywhere.
Okay, yeah. In the midfield or just anywhere in general?
Anywhere, like literally, I'll tell you right now, my first U19 season with Bolts, I played every single position on the field.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Goalie too.
Really?
I played goalkeeper.
When did you play goalkeeper?
Our goalkeeper got a red card. We didn't have a backup goalkeeper. Hopped in goal. Saved a pen.
Are you serious?
Nah, he hit the post. But I like to claim that I saved it. It was the presence, right?
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So I would say like my versatility as a player is like really, like it puts me at an advantage. Like I can play most positions. I started out as a striker. Mm-hmm. When I was younger, and I played striker for a long time.
Like at NEFC, you're saying?
Yeah, NEFC.
Okay, yeah.
I played striker, and I kept playing striker throughout the first year at Bolts.
Yeah.
Moved to wing.
Okay.
Then moved to the 10. Mm-hmm. Then moved back to the wing. Then I was always like a winger or a 10 until this past year, where I played like an 8 and sometimes a 6.
Okay.
So I moved back and worked on my defensive skills, and I might even play some right back in college.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been trying to work on my 1v1 defending. Yeah. I've been getting burnt. It's
okay. So what do you do for 1v1 defending? Because I've been trying to like work on that as well, and like I feel like attacking wise I'm not bad, but like defending is just terrible.
Oh my god. So basically we do this drill. It's like you're in like the corner of the field.
Okay.
And you have like 2 cones.
Oh,
You've probably seen it on
Yeah,
TikTok.
I think I have. I have.
And like the ball gets played into you, and the attacker has to get through like one of the gates.
Yeah.
And and basically I just told my friend Michael, who I train with all the time.
Okay.
And I was like, just like let me defend for like 10 minutes.
So
like so just so I can work on defending, like closing down, and then also like we would work on like someone like just 1v1. Like just 1v1, it's kind of unrealistic because the attacker has like the entire field.
Yeah. Okay.
but so it gives the attacker an advantage. But it would just basically be like
host of defending.
Yeah, right? But it would basically just do like a 1v1 drill, and then I had Lucian, our keeper, in goal. So I mean, just working on that. It's still a work in progress for sure, but I'm getting better.
Yeah,
I'm getting better at it.
I hear you, bro. And so so you went to Roxbury, so you played for NEFC, then Bolts, and then you're also at Roxbury Latin.
Yeah.
And so can you talk about like high school soccer compared to MLS Next, and then?
Dude, high school soccer is a lot of fun.
Dude, it's
a lot of fun. We didn't have the best team. I mean, it's nothing like Milton. We get smacked by Milton every year. I mean, my senior year we lost 2-1. We had a shot at the end. Our right back, who's a catcher for Tufts now.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Like we had a baseball player at right back. You know what I mean? So it's like, but he had a chance at the very end of the game to tie, but it wasn't meant to be. But like it's so much fun. Like the like team spirit and like kind of the passion behind it is like something that I love, and I think it's kind of missing in kind of academy. I feel like
I agree.
There's not enough kind of hype around the games. There's not enough like passion to like really want to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really excited for college, because I think it's kind of the best of both worlds.
For sure.
Because you have a lot of passion to want to like play for your school. Like the fans are coming and watching. Yeah. Like you got a little girlfriend in the stands. She's gonna come to watch you. But in academy, there's not much of that. So that's why in academy it's like it's a little bit less like it's more about the footy than it is about like the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But I mean, obviously the level in academy is a lot higher than like we had a tennis player and a baseball player at our fullbacks.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like I agree. It makes it so much more fun when it's like you're playing for something bigger than just like you trying to get recruited or you trying to get minutes.
Exactly. You know? Like I feel like playing for academy is very individual. Like you're doing it for your own personal gain. Yeah. While playing for your high school, it's like there's no college coaches coming to watch your high school games.
Right.
I mean, maybe some, maybe for your team, just because your team's fucking ridiculous. But it's to win. It's to come back at homeroom the next morning. Yeah. And being like, oh, and here's so-and-so with announcing the soccer game, and they were like, soccer team just beat Milton 2-0. That's fine. And everyone's just like, yeah.
That's fine. But you, Ross Island is an all-boys school, right?
Ross Island is an all-boys school.
It's looking tough.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, did a lot of the boys come out to support the games, or?
So we choose one game every year for the entire school to go to.
Really?
And usually it's a Friday night. We don't have lights on our field.
Yeah, we don't have nothing.
So we chose a Friday night lights game at BB&N away.
Oh, word.
And the school basically like got a bunch of buses to like take it. Basically like the entire school, they all wore white.
That's
and
fire.
BB&N was just like filled with like RL students.
Wow,
and
that's so cool.
It was actually one of the coolest games I ever played in.
Dude, I love that BB&N field.
Yeah. It's
like,
actually
it's cool, bro, because we played down like a Friday night light game, and that's like it's like the best.
Yeah, it's like you feel like you're in like a movie.
You really do. And those flicks are so tough.
Yeah, the flicks are nice.
Yeah, and so you're NEFC, Bolts, and so you're at the ECNL team. And so how did that jump work from you to ECNL to academy? So you think you were always at that level, or do you think it was just like?
Well, I think I was always talented enough to be at that level.
Yeah.
But I just think like it was kind of a confidence issue.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because like I was always like one of the best players on my team.
Yeah.
Before my last year at NEFC.
Yeah. Where
I had this coach. I'm not gonna name his name. That basically destroyed my confidence. I was like a little 12-year-old kid, and I was getting yelled at every time.
Confidence is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It's like, I think it's important to have coaches that are very hard on you, but maybe at the age of 12, you could be a little bit more supportive.
Right, yeah.
But destroyed my confidence. I played terrible that season. That was my last season at NEFC. And that was like when they had like the pre-academy.
Yeah.
So, like all before that, like I was basically supposed to go to Revs after that season.
Yeah.
But I literally had like the worst season ever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, I'm sorry, like we can't take you anymore. And I was like, shit. And NEFC was like, yeah, we don't want you anymore. Yeah. And so then I went to Bolts, and they were like, I mean, we can't take you for the academy team, but we can take you for the ECNL team.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, damn, all right, this is a fall off from heaven. Like, like I was one of the best players in the region, and now I can't even make an academy team.
Yeah.
So so I was in ECNL, but like I was always like I knew I was always talented enough. But it was just like a confidence issue, and especially when you're 13, 14, 15, that's a hard thing to overcome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
for sure.
Like now that I'm a little bit more mature, I understand like my emotional well-being and my mental health a little bit more, and how to manipulate and control that to help my on-field presence. Yeah. Like if it was me in my 12-year-old's shoes now, I feel like I could have handled the situation a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I didn't do well. So I didn't do well that last season at NEFC. I didn't do well the first 2 years at ECNL, and then there was this coach Adam Batista, who was our coach our last year of ECNL, my last year of ECNL, and he saw that I was a talented player, and he kind of gave me creative control of what I do. So like our team, we had a pretty good team. Yeah. And like he basically just let me play with the creative expression that I knew I could always play with. Right. And I played really well that season, and like I said, I got selected for like the ECNL national thing. Like I was doing bits. I was doing bits in the ECNL. Yeah. But then COVID hit. Yeah. So all of that got shut down. Yeah. But since I was doing so well at ECNL, and I didn't have this Roxbury Latin soccer because of COVID. Right. They were like, yeah, you should go play with the academy team. Yeah. So I played with the academy team. I did really well. And I stayed with the academy team since. That's and that's the story.
Yeah. And so you said like Adam Batista, that coach, helped you build your confidence, right? And get better and show your creativity. But so individually, like, what do you do for training yourself?
Training my mental health?
Both mental and like this technical ability. Like, what do you do? Yeah. Like, just say.
I think just getting touches on the ball in a high level environment is the best way that you can improve. Okay. I mean, like, I think that finding a group of friends that are good, like are very good players, and that can each challenge each other to be better, to like get better and improve, is definitely a thing. And then you also want to put yourself in game scenarios. Okay. So it's like you can train individually or with like 2 or 3 people 15 times a week, but it's not gonna help you that much in a game, right? Because you're not seeing the pass between the center back and the right back for the winger to run onto. It's like it's hard to manipulate that in a single or duo session. I mean, I still have solo and duo sessions all the time. Right. But those are more like focused on like improving my technical ability, improving my striking, improving my like long passing and stuff like that.
Because that stuff you can train individually.
Yeah, that stuff you can train individually. But there's certain things where it's like you have to be in game-like scenarios to understand, and it's all up here too. It's like understanding movements, understanding patterns, understanding like third man combinations, understanding like when to leave the space for someone else, when to make the run, stuff like that is super important.
When you were trying to get recruited, how did that work? So the coaches, they came to one of your games, and
so we had one ECNL national like showcase. Yep. In Delaware right before COVID in like February, and then everything got like shut down in like March.
Anyway, just to recap, so you were a junior then? Or
Yeah, I was a sophomore. This was like February of my sophomore year.
Okay.
And so there was that, and there was a ton of coaches there.
Okay.
And I played really well in that little showcase.
Yeah.
So I actually on June 5th, and that was in February, and then on June 15th,
the day you can get recruited by Division I colleges.
Yep. A bunch of colleges reached out from that showcase. Like,
that's
literally
fire.
That was the only reason. So yeah, Georgetown reached out.
That's cool.
On the first day, and I started talking to a bunch of high level programs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it always kind of been like a dream of mine to come here.
Yeah.
Just because I've lived on campus for so long.
Right,
I've been to all the games. I would go to games as a kid.
Yeah.
And watch.
Do you know some of the kids who are walking around here?
Oh, no, I don't think so. They're like summer school kids, so I'm not really sure. But ultimately, Harvard was the place I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I was getting a lot of interest from other Ivy League schools, other ACC schools, and stuff like that.
Right.
And I had people helping me out and advocating for me, and stuff like that. But eventually, I went to a couple ID camps, and I think ID camps are a decent way just to get closer with the coach.
Yeah.
Come to our ID camp, Harvard ID camp. I'll be working it. But yeah, I just basically like anyone else. I would just have conversations with the coaches. I would be proactive. I would talk to them. I would try to reach out as much as possible, and I would ask the hard hitting questions. I'd be like, hey, where do you see me fitting into your program?
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Hey, how many spots left do you have in this recruiting class? What positions are you looking for, and where do you see me in comparison to the other people you're talking to?
Yeah.
And it's those are the questions. You don't want to beat around the bush with the coach. You want to know. If you want to know something, if you want to know where you stand, just ask.
Yeah.
They might beat around the bush, which is fine. But you can kind of, if they're beating around the bush, then I'm sorry. I don't. They might not want you that much.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Obviously, now you're a Division I player, and what would you say kind of separates a Division I player from an average player or a player who doesn't play at the level that you're gonna be playing at?
I would just say consistency.
Yeah.
If an average player can do something 4 out of 10 times, a Division I player can do it 10 out of 10 times. So it's really cutting down on your mistakes, because in college, if you make too many mistakes, you're not gonna play.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. College is all about winning. It's all about because if the coach isn't winning, he's getting fired.
Right. Yeah.
So it's the coach's job is to win games, and the coach's job is to play the players that are gonna win him the most games. And and you might have a lot of potential, but if you keep making mistakes in games and costing the team points, you're not gonna play. So you can be a very talented player, but you really have to round out your game and be consistent as a player as a whole. Just because if you're a player who's prone to making a lot of mistakes, say you're a center back and you give the ball away.
Yeah. They don't want to center back.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it's so yeah, I would say consistency. Another thing is just it's faster. It's just a faster tempo. It's so transitional, and you have to be so fit. Yeah. College soccer is a way more transitional game than an MLS Next game. Yeah. In MLS Next, one team will have possession for 10 minutes, the other team will have possession for another 5 minutes.
Right,
It's in college, it's back and forth. So a more direct player who can beat players one-on-one and finish.
Yep.
Is gonna do really well in college soccer. And how I would describe college soccer is the technicality of an MLS Next game with the physicality of an ISL game.
Dude, that's right. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, those ISL games they get intense.
Oh my god, I've gotten cracked in ISL, and it's there was a target on my back.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because especially if the kids don't have the technical ability to keep up with you, they're gonna find other ways to.
Yeah, and if the coach says before the game hey number 7's their best player.
Yeah.
Like the kid's just gonna want to like make a point on you, and it's like it's the same way in college. Like they're gonna want to make a statement.
Yeah, and so I know like preseason hasn't started yet, but so you guys have been training like a little bit with like some of your teammates.
Yeah, the ones who are local. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 kids who are local. Harvard's team is like, I would say probably like 50% international.
Okay. Wow.
So a lot of them are back there, and a lot of them are doing internships or we're playing with USL2 teams.
Okay. Yeah.
And are like finally getting to go home for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Alessandro Alati. He's our number 10, and he literally just finished his USL2 season, and he's going back to Monaco where he's from for like to go see his family for 2 weeks.
And he has to come back. Right?
Yeah, I think he has to come back. So it's like I feel kind of bad. It's like, yeah, bro, like go see your family.
Yeah. Right. And so what setbacks have you had when you were kind of going through your journey of getting to where you are now?
Yeah, so I've spoken about like a couple injuries in the past like couple months that have been setbacks. Like had a high ankle sprain. I just had a back spasm. Got out of the hospital like 2 days ago.
Jeez.
So sorry if I'm a little drowsy right now. I'm on a bunch of painkillers right now. I don't know if you know what Valium is. That's what I'm on right now.
Okay.
So yeah, those are tough, especially like coming back from an ankle injury and then a week and a half later, like getting another injury is like super disappointing, especially like so close to when preseason's starting.
Yeah.
But another huge setback for me was like the whole confidence thing that I spoke about already. Is like that took years to come back from, like and it wasn't even me who myself who was able to come back from it. It was like a coach who believed in me and was like you, if you play with confidence, you can be one of the best players in the region. Yeah. And turns out he was right.
Yeah. I mean, because
sometimes
it is someone else who believes in you that like kind of gives you that, builds up confidence, you know. And coaches, parents can do it.
Yeah, and my parents have always been super supportive, but it's like sometimes you just get in your own head.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're in that stage where it's like, oh, like I don't think I'm good enough for this level or something like that, and it's like, oh, I think I'm good, but then when I get to practice, I don't feel like I'm confident when I'm touching the ball. Yeah. One thing that I always did before every game was I would just like in my head just say to myself like, I'm the best player on the field. I'm the best player on the field, and keep saying that until the whistle blew.
That's good.
And it helps a lot.
So can you kind of describe like a game day then? So like school just ends. So do like a high school game.
A high school game day? Okay. Yeah. So a high school game day. Let's see. So school ends.
What time is school end? Like 3:20ish. That's for Milton.
Nah, we got out of school at like 2:35.
Okay. Yeah.
So we got out of school at 2:35. I would usually go head to the locker room.
Wait, talking to the mic.
I would usually go head to the locker room. I would head to the locker room. I'm trying to think. I was like,
I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah,
right?
It's been a while because I've had this year off. And
and we'll talk about your gap year as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I would head to the locker room. Oh, I would have a Cliff Bar.
Okay.
Because
they get you locked
yeah. No. It was just like I needed like a little bit of like substance. Yeah. Before the game, because one thing I learned is I could not play on like an empty stomach. Yeah. So, I would have like a Cliff Bar.
But also like you don't eat like too much.
No. But yeah, I would have a Cliff Bar. I would get my stuff ready. We would be bumping music in the locker room. Everybody would be like hyping each other up and stuff like that. I would just like change into the warm up gear. I have like a very specific way that I do my socks. Okay. Like I've got like the.
Are you a low sock guy?
I'm a low sock guy.
Low sock guy.
So I would like set up my socks. I wouldn't put my shin pads in yet, but I would set up my socks the way that they needed to be.
Yeah. You think if you like had socks, like if you pulled them up all the way, you'd like play differently or not?
I would cramp. I would cramp. One time I was like I'm pulling my socks up. I need to be Brexit this game. And then I think this was in Florida back in February with Bolts. Yeah. Because I was like, I need to be Brexit this game. Like, I need to like put in some tackles because I think we were in like the quarterfinals or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, we were just all like hyped up. I was like, I'm pulling my socks up. Well, I'm gonna be Brexit. Like 10 minutes into the game, I just start cramping. I'm like, oh shit. Like so I pulled them back down to where they normally go. But low socks. Yeah, low socks for me. Not for any like stylistic reasons, although it is kind of drippy. No, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I will cramp if I pull them higher than like my calf.
Okay, yeah. And so then you said like you'll get on the field and then you'll say I'm the best player. I'm the best player.
Yeah. So we had this pregame. Okay. Oh, this is insane. Okay. So we have this pregame playlist that was created my sophomore year.
Okay. The same playlist for all your years at.
I still listen to that playlist before every game.
That's fine.
Before every Bolts game, I would listen to this playlist. Shout out to Jack Clordy. He plays at Brown now.
Oh, bad.
He made the playlist.
From Roxbury Latin.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And we listened to it my sophomore year. Junior year we didn't have a season. Okay. But my senior year we would listen to that playlist before every game too. Yeah. And then just in my headphones before Bolts games I would listen to that playlist too.
And give me some songs that was on the playlist.
Oh, the first one is Hot by Young Thug.
Okay,
yeah. And it's like but when I hear that comes on I'm like, oh, I'm locked in. And
that's right.
And so yeah, it's like an hour-long playlist, and I just listen to that. I would listen to that in my headphones before we start warming up for Bolts, so I would listen to it because we would play it on the speaker. During pre-game at RL. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then I would just get locked in, kind of take everything in, just like before each game. I kind of just look around, and just like make sure I know where my parents are. Just like be like, okay, hey mom, hey dad.
Do your parents come to every game?
My dad would try to come to every game. I mean, but not my mom as much. But no, I would go look for my parents, and then I would kind of just take everything in, like just like enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? Like the most important thing about is like to have fun while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Sure, like if
it's a game. Man.
Yeah, it's a game. If you play with confidence, you're gonna have fun. And it's like it's the game that you love to play. It's like you're gonna have fun doing it, and that's super important. Like that's a piece of advice like I would give to anybody like below the age of like 14. Like your main goal should be to like have as much fun as possible because it's only gonna get like the coaches are only gonna get harder on you from then on. So it's like enjoy it and make sure you love the game because if you don't think that you love the game that much, then when you get older and there are these coaches who are like being real hard on you, you're gonna want to quit.
So you did take a gap year though, right?
Yeah,
so
I did.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I took a gap year. I would recommend taking a gap year to basically a lot like anyone.
Okay.
Like I think it's super important. Just I was able to kind of find myself not only as a player but as a person. I think I was able to mature a lot more. Yeah. I just think coming out of high school, I don't think I was ready to go to college. I think I would have struggled. Not just on the field, but just like
I mean socially too, maybe.
Socially, I like for me, I had never been to a party.
Really?
My entire high school life. Like not my entire high school life, but like until my senior spring.
I mean, it's hard, especially if you're like training.
Yeah.
Like you have a goal, and then it's like.
And so it was like, I like socially, I feel like I was kind of like, I mean, I wasn't friends with like, I mean, I was cool with the other like athletes at Roxbury Latin, but like I wouldn't say I was friends. I was friends with like the kids who were in science club and math club, and it's like those were my best friends, and so going from that into college where I would be a college athlete and be hanging around a lot of athletes and be hanging around like people of that like kind of social status. I would have felt pretty uncomfortable and pretty like unaware of my surroundings. So I just felt like I also felt like I was kind of pretty immature. Like I thought very highly of myself, and I think that I definitely needed to humble myself a little bit. And I don't know. I think this year has been really good. I mean, like football wise, like I've been able to improve a lot, like become a much more well-rounded player. I think that I mean I went to Portugal. That was an incredible experience. Like we got to play teams like Benfica and Braga and stuff like that, and I mean that was a really cool experience.
How did those kids compare? Like how'd you guys do over
there? We did pretty well. I mean every game I think was within like a goal.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Especially like playing those really good teams.
Oh, except for this like one. No. Every game was within a goal. We got robbed against Benfica. But no, that was a really, really cool experience. It was super cool to see like the level out there and like how different it is to how it is here. It's like I like to think that I have high hopes for the U.S. soccer. Yeah. Like, but they're still like.
You think they're still miles behind?
Yeah, we're still so far behind. Okay. I mean, it's like you go over there and you look at the talent of like someone who's like born in like 2008 or something like that, and it's like wow, they're better than most like high schoolers.
Yeah. So why do you think that is? Why do you think they're still?
I wish I could tell you. I think it's just like their environment is just like way more focused on football, like from a young age. But it's also, I think it's to a detriment to a degree, just because like if they don't become a professional footballer, they got nothing. Yeah. Like it's like in the US, I think the US school system and the way that the US treats school is a lot more of a priority than it is over there. Yeah. Like over there, it's like if someone's like, I want to be a footballer at the age of 9, then they could drop everything.
They'll do everything possible.
Yeah. But around here, it's like everyone wants to have a backup plan and I agree. Like,
no, I mean, for sure. I mean,
if I had a son at 9 years old, he said he wanted to be a professional footballer, I would not let him drop everything and go try that, because it's like what happens if you don't? Right, you know what I mean?
Right. And it's sad to say that, but it's true. I mean, but also look where you're at now, like Harvard, and then you Ross Bay Latin, so it's good that you have that back.
Yeah, like, exactly.
And being at like those schools, like being at a school like Harvard or an institution like Harvard, it's not only like the academics you're getting, it's like the networking and the people that you meet.
Of course. I mean, that's almost all of it. Like, the more I've learned, the one thing I've learned this year in my gap year the most is that networking is insane. Like it's more like all of my friends who are in college now or college last year because they were in my grade. Right. All they say is like keep your GPA up and stuff like that, but you want to just go around and meet people. Yeah. And one thing I've tried to be more is like just be more social and outgoing, so like I can like be connected into these like networks where it can give me career opportunities not even career opportunities, but it could give me opportunities to be like make friends with someone that I never would have thought to be friends that I would be friends with. Like, like for example, like I have one of my roommates is from Australia and is on the rowing team. Yeah. I would have never thought that I would meet someone from like that, but like at a place like Harvard, like that you're gonna meet people like that. That's fire.
Well, what do you think you want to do outside of just soccer, like career wise? Do you know that? I mean, obviously, you don't have to know about it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do something intellectual. I think that I have a decently creative mind. Yeah. I think that I could see myself basically at Harvard I want to major in either economics, government, or psychology.
Okay, nice.
I'm really interested in psychology just because I'm interested in the way the brain ticks. Yeah. Not like the science part of it, but just like I'll stay up late watching videos of like how body language like helps the FBI and the CIA like in interrogation rooms and stuff like that, and I just find that super interesting. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna take classes that I feel interested in. Yeah. And I'm just gonna kind of find a second passion, just because I've got football as my first passion. Right. And obviously, if a professional football career like works out, like that would be incredible. Yeah. Like like that would be incredible. But a reason why a place like Harvard is a perfect fit for me is because like if like I said, like I want to have a backup plan that I can rely on, and I mean, there's not much better than Harvard.
No, there isn't. There really isn't. And so when you're applying to Harvard, so the coaches are looking at you, right? And they see you. You do the ID clinics, and then like you still have to get into the school. Because how does that really work?
Yeah, so there's like recruiting spots that like help you, that like the coach can put your name on a list.
Okay.
And
like we want to get this kid.
Yeah, we want to get and they get 6. So
okay.
I think you have to have 24 on the team at a time.
Okay.
So like if say you only got 4 people last year, you can get 8 people this year.
Okay, yeah, I see.
So there's like 6 recruits.
Yep.
And they put their name on a list, and it's like their academics have to go through a pre-read, and if their academics pass that pre-read, then basically it's not a guarantee that they get in,
right.
But like it's basically like you can get into the school.
Yeah. So kids who like commit as like juniors, they still have to like take like super good classes like senior year, or
kids who commit as juniors to Harvard. Well, my coach didn't let me post my commitment until I got into the school.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, your commitment post is so tough.
Really, you liked
it?
That
was tough. That was really good.
But yeah, like I think they did the same thing with Sardi.
Okay.
Like they didn't let him like announce his commitment. But maybe they're doing it different, because I know some of the kids in the class below me who have committed already have already posted about it or have it in their bios or something like that. I'm like, I wasn't allowed to do that. But yeah, I think so basically you get like 6 like recruits, and then like there's a lot of kids who are interested in coming who can get in on their own. So like for example,
walk-on kind of?
Yeah. So but it's called like a PWO, preferred walk-on. So it's like the coach can write a letter for you to admissions.
Yeah.
Like saying like, hey, like he's not on a recruiting spot, but he would really help us for the team.
Do you remember your GPA when you were going?
So I mean, RL, hard school.
No, for sure.
Yeah. So but
I think it's like one of the hardest schools in the ISL.
Yeah. I think it was like I was looking at like a Forbes list or something like that. I think it was ranked like the 3rd hardest school in the nation.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that honestly makes sense.
But I had like a 3.4
at
RL, which was like decent.
Yeah.
But I got a 1490 on my SAT.
Jeez.
So that like balanced it out. But I had to take the SAT like 5 times. Okay. Cause like I would be like, hey, is this SAT good enough? And then coach would be like, no.
How many times can you take it?
You can take it as many times as you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I literally took it 5 times.
Yeah.
And I would get a better score the next time. I would be like, "Is this good enough?" He was like, "Not yet." And I was like, and I'd take it again, "Not yet." And then finally on the last time, he was like, "All right, we can do this."
Yeah, that's all right. So is it just like, cause I haven't like done that yet, but you think I should just like get on that? Cause I'm a sophomore, or I'm going to my junior year. Did you like start practicing for the SAT stuff?
I think, when did I take my first? Yeah, I took my first SAT. Literally like right before my junior year started.
Oh shoot.
So yeah, but you have plenty of time. Like
like
you definitely shouldn't take it 5 times like me.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know some schools also you don't need it.
I don't know how it works anymore. I think it was because of like a COVID thing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I think it might be required again.
Dang it.
SATs. But dude, I don't know. For me, getting a 3.4 at RL was so much harder than getting a 1490 on the SAT. Like that, like.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good school, man, and.
Yeah, it was a grind.
And do you think colleges like notice out, like, oh, this kid went to RL?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, 100%. Like they take that into consideration. Like if you go to a harder school, like the college will understand that, and they'll weight it appropriately. I'm not too sure about how it works, but there's this thing called academic index that I think the Ivy League schools have to follow, where the team has to be above an average academic index. Okay. So, for example, I think my academic index is like a bit above average. It has like an academic index score that's lower. Yeah. You can get someone else to balance it out. So that's like the difference between like the Ivies and like the other schools, which is why it's a lot harder. Like for your academics to go through in Ivy's school.
Yeah, and I hear you. I think the last thing I kind of want to ask you is so what advice would you have for younger players, or what would you tell yourself 5 years ago, or you wish you kind of knew?
5 years ago, I would say if you're dealing with like, I would say focus just as much on your like mental performance as your physical performance.
That's
like
good. Yeah.
like I think confidence, like being in the right headspace, like being motivated for a game, like all of that is just as important as how good you are as a player. And I think that I didn't realize that. I just thought like I need to get as good technically on the ball as I can. Yeah. But I would really like focus on like having fun when you're playing. Yeah. Like really, because when you have fun, that's like nobody has fun when they're not playing well. Yeah. So if you focus on having fun when you're playing, you're gonna play well.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And yeah, just like I would just say that like try to work on your mental toughness early, because it's gonna be tested. Yeah. I mean, there's coaches out here that are gonna test that, and for me, like it helps. I mean, like I hated it at the time, but I thank him for doing that, because it helps me now. It helps my mental toughness is a lot better. It's like, say if I went to college and my coach was exactly like that, I was like, oh, I know how to deal with this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know how to do this. So
and so I kind of talked about it before, but the mentor side. So what have you had for that? Did we talk about that on this one?
Mentor, I mean, Adam Batista was that coach for me. He really helped me. My dad's always been like a huge supporter of mine. Like, like even after a bad game, like he's not the type of guy to be like, you played like shit. like sometimes I wish he would, because I'd be like, damn, I played like shit. I wish he would just be like, yeah, you played like shit. Yeah. But he would just be like, no, it's okay. Like you're on to the next one. Like, just like looking at my family and like seeing like what I can do to like make them proud. Like looking at my grandfather or like looking at like my grandmother who are looking at me and they want to see something from me, like trying to put myself in a position where they can be like, wow, I'm really proud. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I do. Like I want to be someone that that when my extended family or my grandparents or like my cousins or like my aunts and uncles are like asked, like that I want them to talk about me to other people, because they're proud of like the man I've become. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. So that's always been like an inspiration of mine, like being able to put myself in a position where like my family can talk about me in a proud light. You know what I mean? Because
I know for sure.
Because I've seen a lot of families where like parents are embarrassed of what their kid has become, and it's like that's one of my biggest fears, is like I don't want my parents to ever go through that. So
and so you're just working for it. Thank you so much. And do you have any more things I might have missed today?
No, I mean I really appreciate you you coming over here. I think this was sick.
And so we're still gonna do some rapid fire questions, but I think we'll walk around the campus. You can around and
dude,
talk about
what he's got going on here is revolutionary. I'm telling you right now, nobody's doing this. Nobody's covering like soccer, like for the high school ages. In the U.S., like they do it with basketball, they do it with football, but he's starting the new wave. So so
it's coming soon. BenzBoots is on top.
Yeah. Tap in. Yeah.
So every episode, I'm gonna give you guys a gift. So I got you some BenzBoots merch.
Oh wow! I didn't even know this was coming. Okay. Oh no, you know I'm about to rep this. Yes, Let's see what we got. Ready? Well, I'm about to pull up. I'm about to pull up to preseason first day in some Benz.
Shirt.
Oh yeah.
Got some stickers for you.
Oh yeah, this is going on my laptop.
And then some wristbands.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yo, I appreciate this, bro. Bro, really, I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. All right, yo. Thanks, man.